Welcome to the Eat Better, Move Better, Live Better podcast presented by Flourish with Tracy, where we'll dive into the realms of holistic wellness, plant-based nutrition, yoga, and self-care to help you live your best life. Tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern for our special segments. Meditation Monday, start your week with mindfulness. Wellness Wednesdays, get the midweek boost you need. Sadhana Saturdays, dedicate weekends to personal growth. Join us as we explore and discuss all things to eat better, move better, and live better. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Today, we're going to explore the optimization of our circadian rhythm and why it matters, what it is, and how aligning with our natural biological rhythms profoundly impacts our sleep quality, our hormonal balance, energy levels, mood, metabolism, immune health, and our overall well-being. It's not about rigid rules or perfection, but it's about remembering our innate intelligence. Long before artificial lighting, screens, and shift work or 24-hour productivity cycles, our human bodies evolved in relationship with light, darkness, seasons, and rest. This is called our circadian rhythm. It's our body's internal clock. And it quietly, behind the scenes, orchestrates when we wake, sleep, digest, repair, and regenerate. And when we live in alignment with this clock, the body works with us. When we live against it, the body compensates, and it's often at a cost. So the word circadian comes from the Latin root circa diem, meaning about a day. Circadian rhythm is roughly a 24-hour internal biological cycle that governs many physiological processes. And at the center of this system is a tiny but powerful cluster of neurons located in our brain. Think of it as the master clock. It receives information primarily from the light that enters through our eyes, especially natural sunlight. And based on this information, this cluster of neurons sends signals all throughout the body to synchronize our sleep-wake cycles, our body temperature, how we secrete hormones, our digestion and metabolism, our immune activity, and our overall alertness and our moods. But here's something that many don't realize, that every organ and tissue within our body also has its own clock. The liver, gut, pancreas, adrenal glands, even our ovaries, testes, and skin cells. These clocks rely on cues from the master clock and from our daily behaviors like eating, movement, and rest. And when all of these internal clocks are synchronized, the body experiences coherence. When they're misaligned, we begin to see dis-ease and many symptoms arise. So let's talk a little bit about circadian rhythm and sleep architecture. Sleep is not a single state. It's a carefully timed biological process that's guided by the circadian rhythm. There are two major systems that regulate sleep. The sleep drive, which means the longer we're awake, the more pressure builds to sleep. And then the circadian alerting signal, the rhythm that tells us when to feel awake or sleepy. In the evening, as light decreases, the pineal gland releases melatonin. The core body temperature begins to drop. Cortisol levels decline, the nervous system shifts towards parasympathetic rest and digest mode. This sets the stage for deep restorative sleep. When circadian rhythm is aligned, you feel naturally sleepy at night. You fall asleep more easily. You cycle smoothly through light sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep. You wake feeling refreshed. However, when your circadian rhythm is disrupted, you may feel tired, wired. Your sleep may be shallow or fragmented. You may wake frequently between 2 and 4 a.m., and morning grogginess becomes common. And when we have sleep issues, we're thinking it's a sleep problem, but actually it's a timing problem. It begins with our hormones. Hormones follow daily rhythms, not just quantity, but timing. Even healthy hormone levels can cause problems if they are released in our bodies at the wrong time. So, for example, cortisol. Cortisol regulates stress and energy. This hormone naturally peaks in the morning, early between 6 and 8 a.m. It helps you wake up, mobilize your energy, and to focus. And when your circadian rhythm is disrupted, your cortisol may be reversed high at night, which results in anxiety and insomnia. And it may be low in the morning, which presents as fatigue or brain fog. Melatonin, the sleep hormone, rises in the evening in response to darkness and signals to the body that it's safe to rest. Blue light exposure at night suppresses melatonin, confusing the brain into thinking it's still daytime. Our insulin and blood sugar also impacts how we sleep. Insulin sensitivity is highest earlier in the day, and late night eating disrupts the metabolic rhythm. And this causes insulin resistant, weight gain, and type 2 diabetes. It misaligns your circadian rhythm. The sex hormones, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, are closely linked to the quality of our sleep, stress levels, and how our circadian rhythm is signaled. Poor sleep and disruption of our circadian rhythm can contribute to PMS, premenstrual syndrome, and irregularity with menstrual cycles, low libido, challenges with fertility, and reduced testosterone. And then the thyroid hormones. Thyroid function is influenced by how long we sleep, the duration. It's also influenced by stress and the stability of our circadian rhythm. If we are in chronic misalignment, this can slow metabolism and how we produce energy. In essence, circadian rhythm is impacted directly by how our hormones function. And they're modern day disruptors of circadian rhythm. Our biology hasn't changed much, but our environment has. And these common disruptors include artificial lighting after sunset, excessive screen use, irregular sleep schedules, shift or night work, eating late night, chronic state of stress, and overstimulation and constant productivity. Even social jet lag, sleeping late on weekends and waking early on weekdays, can disrupt circadian rhythm. Body thrives on consistency, not intensity. So how can you optimize your circadian rhythm? Begin by anchoring your morning. Wake at the same time each day, within 30 to 60 minutes. Get natural sunlight within the first hour of waking if it's possible. Even 5 to 15 minutes outdoors can reset your clock. Support being alert during the day. Eat your meals during daylight hours. Move your body earlier in the day. Limit your caffeine intake, especially after late morning. Eliminate it altogether in the evening. And then honor your evenings with wind down ritual. Dim your light after sunset. Reduce your screen exposure to 1 to 2 hours before bed. Use warm lighting, ambient lighting, or candles. Engage in calming practices such as breath work, gentle stretching, or meditation. Create an environment that supports sleep, a cool, dark, quiet bedroom, a consistent bedtime routine, and reserve the bed for just sleep and intimacy. Don't work in bed. Align food timing. Eat your largest meals earlier in the day. Midday is optimal. Avoid heavy meals close to bedtime. You want to have a minimum of 12 hours between your last meal and when you wake in the morning. This overnight fasting cycle allows the body and the circadian rhythm to reset. And then regulate your stress. Daily nervous system regulation is key. Mindfulness time in nature, taking a stretching class, yoga class, or some sort of consciousness rest reinforces your circadian health. And support your circadian rhythm based on what you need and adapt as you need. To optimize your circadian health, it's not a one-size-fits-all. This is especially important if you are a shift worker, you're new parents of a newborn, you have insomnia, or you have chronic illness or adrenal fatigue, and especially if you're recovering from burnout. Take extra care. In these instances, the goal is to gently stabilize, not adhere to strict schedules, always prioritizing your safety, your sustainability, and to do so with self-compassion. Circadian rhythm optimization is about not controlling the body, but returning to rhythm and listening to it. When we live in alignment with our natural cycles, sleep becomes restorative, hormones communicate clearly, and our energy flows more steadily. It's not about doing more, it's about doing in time. Think of this work as a remembering. Your body already knows how to rest, repair, and regenerate. Circadian alignment just simply removes the noise so that the wisdom can be heard again. Circadian rhythm optimization is the relationship to rebuild. Rebuilding the relationship, light and dark, activity and rest, effort and restoration. When we live in rhythm, sleep becomes less of a struggle and more of a natural descent. Hormones begin to communicate clearly instead of shouting through symptoms. Energy stabilizes, mood softens, and the body feels safer in its own timing. This work invites patience. The body does not reset overnight. It relearns through consistency, compassion, and trust. Every small choice, stepping into the morning light, honoring an earlier bedtime, slowing the nervous system at dusk, is all a signal of safety to your inner clock. So rather than asking, how can I force my body to sleep or balance my hormones, consider asking, how can I live in a way that supports my body's internal natural intelligence? Circadian alignment is not about control, it's about cooperation. So as you go about your day, may you do so with a greater respect for your internal rhythms, with a gentler expectation of yourself, and with a renewed commitment to living in time rather than against it. When we honor rhythm, the body remembers how to heal. So thank you for sharing time and space today. Thank you for slowing down and choosing to come back into alignment with your natural flow to optimize your circadian rhythm. Thanks for tuning in. I hope today's insights help you on a personal journey towards a healthier, happier life. Don't forget to join every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern for more self-care and holistic wellness tips. Before you go, make sure to comment, click the bell, like, and subscribe buttons for upcoming episode notifications. Be sure to always consult a medical professional before making any major changes regarding your health, diet, or routine. In the meanwhile, stay motivated, stay inspired, and remember, every step you take is one step closer to a better you. Until next time, keep flourishing, and as always, may all be well.